She wants to be.
No, I don't want to be single. And that's what we're going to be talking about, ladies, in today's show. Last week, we had a pretty heated show with our panel when they were discussing why they are still single. But this week, we're going to be talking about how they can get out of their singledom. So stay tuned, those of you who are single out there, and those of you who are married that have single friends and you want to give them some tips and advice. Get your cuppa, ladies and lads, and stay tuned for this week's DKW Show. Right, welcome to today's DKW show. We're going to be giving you some tips, singles out there, on how you can come out of your singledom. We have our panel back. Panel, wave to the cameras. We have the lovely Gemma, we have Pam, we have Joy, we have Antonello, we have Daniel, and we have Marlon. So hopefully it won't get too heated again in the studio. But just in case you weren't around last week, oh, do you know what? I almost forgot.
Us.
I've got you guys who were picking on me. I'm just about to cut you all out. I've got Sam and I've got Shireen. Hello. Sorry, guys. But you know what? It was so heated last week. I want to get into the highlights in case those of you out there didn't see it last week, and then you guys can jump in and defend yourselves and give your comments as to what you thought last week's show was about. So watch this clip now. DKW show is getting quite heated in the studio today. We're talking about why you may be still single, and we've got our panelists here who have been given their nips and tips and why they're still single and their isms and stuff, and we've been burst against the married folk over here. Shireen and Sam are our hosts who are thrashing it out and telling them why they think they're still single, but we're going to be a bit cheeky here. Panelists, we're going to ask you why you're still single individually. Pam, you are gorgeous and you seem so sweet. Why are you still single?
Well, firstly, I don't see there's nothing wrong with being single.
Okay, fair enough.
I mean, if there's no one there, just to go with someone for the sake of it, that's not good. It's not good. You might as well just value yourself till the right person does come along. But obviously, you have to be vigilant, look around, you know. So I don't think there's anything wrong with being single, but keep your eyes open, etc.
Okay.
I like it.
Maybe 60, 70 years ago, like my grandparents, marriage was like having breakfast. It was a normal thing to do. Nowadays, the fashion is to be a bachelor, have many women, you know, live life to the fullest, as they say, and not get into a commitment, because then when you get into commitment, you're not really living life.
Joy, what do you think about Daniel's statement? Do you agree? Because you were shaking your head like...
Well, I just think it's a bit of a limited thought, because... sorry. No, sorry. I don't mean this in a horrible way, but it's just that, you see, if the perception is that being married is such a bad thing and it has such negative connotations, that's probably the whole reason why you're still single.
About 10 years ago, the way I thought then, I don't think now. Do you know what I mean? So, and that's because, like Joy said, I did sort of look back retrospectively and think, okay, was I thinking in the wrong way? You know, your values change, everything changes. And you know, at the end of the day, if you don't allow yourself to change, then you deserve to be single.
I think the mindset of guys have changed. I think the honour of, let me have this one woman that I'm going to be with, she's worth it, she's valuable, I'm going to fight for this one lady, has changed, because you're saying that there's so much choice out there, but what exactly are you looking for? Are you just looking at the face value, or are you looking for something inside, someone, a real helper, someone that's going to be, you know, complimenting you? Or are you thinking, oh no, my girlfriend has to look like such, and oh no, her toes are not quite right, oh no, her feet are not right.
The main thing for a man is to succeed in life. While for a woman, what she wants is a family. So if a man is not happy with his, you know, mainly with his life, with how he's doing in his profession, in his business, and you know, if he's not succeeding in that area and he feels like he has not achieved yet, that can trigger a failure, even in the, in the sentimental life or in the marriage.
If the guy feels unfulfilled before he gets into that marriage, he's going to give that woman grief. Because you don't want an unhappy person trapped with a happy person thinking that everything's okay when it's not. And if he's still thinking my career, but he's got a wife, he's not probably going to give that wife attention.
But the thing is, Jen, don't you think that it's because he hasn't got that right person by his side that he can't get to his full potential anyway?
Right,
Well,
that's what I wanted to hear.
This is the thing. What I'm thinking is, why would you need someone to make you right? What is the problem with being single then? Are you trying to say that being single is a good thing or not?
I'm not saying, well, it depends what age you are.
Okay.
I believe, obviously, the 16, 17-year-olds, I'm in love. I think you should live alone and grow and go through your whole process.
I mean, with your own experience, Mara, are you saying that most of the women that you may have dated, have they been too controlling, the women that you've met personally? Your own experience? Because it seems as if you're talking from your own experience, of course.
And also, don't you think that that's affecting you now?
Mm-hmm. And it could be.
Who am I answering?
We've got so many giggles and laughs in the studio, and it looked like we had an agony aunt there, Gemma, right there, giving Marlon the lowdown on why he's still single. But you know what, seeing as panel, you're here, looking back retrospectively and seeing yourself on, TV like that, what do you think of some of your answers? Do you still feel the same way? Do you still think they're valid excuses for being single? Pam, do you want to go first?
Yeah, well, I still think there's no problem in being single. If you haven't found the right person, then focus on yourself till you get to the point where you're able to have a relationship with someone, and don't just jump into a relationship because you're lonely or because you're on your own, because it's probably going to end up a wrong relationship anyway if you're just doing it just to be with someone because you're lonely.
Yeah. I think watching last week back, I think I know everyone's reason for being single, apart from my own.
Oh, really?
I gave a lot of advice last week, so yeah, watching it back, I didn't
Which
realise.
is ironic, because you gave so much advice and you still don't know why you're still single.
I know, that's what I got.
Any of the panelists want to say why they...
A friend of mine let me notice something, actually. She said, but don't you think, because I said, if you're not ready, I'm not ready and this and that, but don't you think that if you meet the right one, that readiness will, for the fact that you're not ready, you're going to let it go. You will understand probably. Probably you're not ready because you have never met the one that you believe is the one for you.
So technically speaking, you're never ready then, isn't it?
Yeah, that technically speaking, you will not be ready until you meet the person that you think is the right for you.
Yeah, my point of view changed a bit.
Really?
I just think,
Wow.
That was my highlight, Jennifer.
We're glad to hear it, Daniel.
I just think you're never going to be 100% ready, and you have to make yourself ready. You need to work towards it, because if you don't work towards it, you'll never be ready. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of times where you're put in a situation when you're not ready, but you attack the problem and you overcome it. Do you know what I mean? Whatever the situation is. So it's you saying to yourself, you know what, I'm not ready, but I'm going to make myself ready. And even when the time does come, I believe no one's still 100% ready. They're in a work in progress. So you guys can work together.
Yeah.
But that's my point of view.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, we actually agree. Yeah.
Marlon's got the mic there like he's ready to say something.
I just wanted to know if Gemma wanted to give me more advice. But no, I still stick by my views. I would say our focus must always be on ourselves. You must try to uplift yourself, make yourself better, because the main reason why you're single most probably lies within yourself rather than others. We're looking for something, but we haven't looked in ourselves yet. You have to find who you are, what you are, and then you'll know what you need and which direction you need to go. Because a person sometimes is in front of you, but you just cannot see them because you're looking for Tyrese or LL Cool J, who look good in the picture.
Or Beyonce.
Yeah. Or whatever. But that's my views, anyway.
Oh, Joy?
I was going to say, I'm quite happy that the guys have caught up with the ladies. I think we were all on the same page last week, weren't we, ladies? The guys, as it seems, have actually caught up. So my position is still the same. Why wouldn't it be? It was quite genuine from the heart. So honestly speaking, yeah, it wasn't going to change in any way or form. Just hearing other people's. I think it helps in the long run, but yeah, that's pretty much it.
Good. Well, Agony Aunt Jem, I believe there was a post on Facebook about your comment, Shireen.
There was. She was saying last week
Oh my God.
that actually the reason why she believes she's single is because in her area, in her community, there seems to be a limited number of men. So we had someone respond on Facebook to that comment, and the person said, she's right. There are also limited women.
Wow.
No one really wants to compromise these days. Either there is too much choice, and it's easy to go from one partner to another. There is no emphasis on family structure no more. I also believe that a person should only be with someone if you think that he or she would be a good parent. Great show, by the way. Even my husband got involved. Lol.
Well, well, it looks like that was a bit of a hit last week. But do you know what? Well, not singletons, married. I don't know what to call you guys. Marriedom or married folk?
Happily married.
Happily married,
Yeah,
happily married.
That's right.
Happily married folk. What was your views on last week's show? Because you had a lot to say. And looking back retrospectively, what would you like to add?
I think last week we saw a lot of excuses. And I think that most of the panel came with their defences up, to fight for why they're still single. This is why I'm single. It's everyone else, kind of like what Marlon was saying. For the first time in life, we're agreeing on something. It's like what he was saying. But my highlight has to be what Daniel said, because Daniel came on the show very defensive, saying, I'm not ready, I haven't met the right person. That's how he began. But by the end of the show, he was saying, do you know what, I realise it's because I haven't invested enough in myself and invest enough time in finding the right person. And towards the end of the show, I was just like, oh, progress. So that was my highlight. It was nice that there was a turnaround at the end of the show.
I think with all our single people out, there's changes with all of them, I feel. And I think that what's happening is that their mindset is changing because they're opening their views a lot further and they're not limiting themselves. And I think that's what it's about. It's about not limiting yourself. And it's about, like what Danny said, I totally agree with Shireen, you do have to find that person who you connect with. And I don't believe in the whole world there's not going to be a person you connect with. As you're going along in your life, at work, there's going to be people who you will just connect. Those are the people that you challenge. You challenge, you take risks, you ask them out. Don't be afraid. So, yeah.
Well, do you know what? Last week, you spoke about this special place that you went to, which was quite great. And you know what was so funny, people? Some of these single lot hooked up and went down there. Well, not hooked up together, but unfortunately.
That's my dream.
But they got together and they actually went down there, and it seems like it was good. And we took our cameras down there to follow them along. Fantastic. So let's have a look on how it was.
Hi everyone. As you can remember from last week's show, Antonello was speaking about a great place that he goes to, Therapy of Love. And so he invited the member of the panel to join him. Well, we just couldn't resist, could we? So they're all here, ready to go in and find out just how good it is.
I'm a terrible, terrible, terrible footballer. Don't tell anyone, but I'm terrible at playing football, terrible. But I really like to play. So when someone lets me play in their team, I really like it. But I'm really terrible, terrible at it. But when my wife sees me play football, guess what she does? Yes, James! Yes, you are the best! Is it true? It's not true. But when I hear that, I even run with a little bit more panache.
So the Therapy of Love has now finished. We're going to find out from the girls that were on the panel just what they thought about it. So Joyce, tell us, how did you find it?
It was quite good actually. It wasn't too long, it was actually a good length, very informative. And also affirming in the sense that, some of the ideas and the thoughts that I have already, it kind of confirmed that. So it was good to know that I'm on the right path, right track. So it was a good session, great thing to go to, yeah.
And you, Gemma, what did you find?
I thought it was quite helpful, like Joy said. I found that it's quite practical. Because, you know, we said on the show last week that, you know, how do you learn about love? There is no love school, for instance. It felt like we were at a love school. Do you know what I mean? Someone actually teaching you practically how to love and how to receive love. So I think it was really, really good, because a lot of the times if you go through relationship problems, you just don't know how to deal with it, or you deal with it the way that your parents dealt with it, and maybe that's not necessarily the best thing, but this is sort of taking all that away and saying, no, this is the correct way. It was great, really good.
So what stood out for you?
Well, at first I was quite skeptical. I didn't think I was going to make it, but I found it really, really helped me. It gave me some great advice. I was able to understand clearly, you know, why I'm still single, and it kind of gave me hope. Like last week I said there's no one available, but the reason why is that maybe I have to look inside myself to realize, you know, I have to change, and that kind of helped me understand that as well.
One thing I would say is that there were quite a few people there, so it's actually not an isolated situation to be in, being single. There were so many people there, some that you would never think, oh, how's that person? So handsome, so pretty, but they're still single. So, you know, there's obviously a deeper issue, but yeah, it's good to be in a good place to actually have that solved and start to be able to work towards good things. So, yeah, it's good.
So I'm here with the Love Talk presenters, James and Helena Marcus. How are you?
Very good, thank you.
Very well, thank you.
So, we want to know more about the love therapy. What is it about?
Well, the love therapy is a meeting that happens weekly where we can give more direct advice, although it's collective, but for people to know how they should improve their marriage, improve their relationship. Those who are single, how they can become better, even though they don't have anyone yet, to better their chances of being happy in their love life.
We give a lot of good practical advice as well, which I think is very helpful.
So what kind of people can attend these sessions then?
In one short word, anyone, right? So anyone, whether you're single, whether you are, you know, going through a tough time in your relationship and you want to get things right, whoever you are, you're welcome. Sessions are very informal. You can just walk in. You don't need a ticket or anything. And if people visit our website, the details are there, the address is there. And as long as you get here on time, that's what matters. So you can make the most of it.
Thank you very much. So now you know how to get in touch with them. It's back to you.
So there you have it. It looks like our panel had loads and loads of fun there at the Therapy of Love. But also, maybe you're thinking, I want to know, what can I do to get out of my singledom? Well, we're going to go for a quick break, and then we'll be back, and we're going to be hearing the panel and our happily married folk talking about what you can do to come out of your rut. So stay tuned. Hi there, welcome to today's DKW show. We're talking love life in today's studio, and we're talking about how you can come out of your singledom. So we had the highlights of the Therapy of Love show, but I have a few surprises for you guys in the studio. We have a video that we're gonna call on why one of you are still single. That's right, Joy. We have a video of someone who knows you that wanted to give their opinion on why they feel you're still single. Do you know what they're going to say?
Oh my goodness. Very close
do you have any idea what they're going to say? Well, you know what?
I'm going to sound picky, which isn't true. It's not.
Now it's all going to come out.
No. Yeah, let's just be cautious about whose ideas we take on here.
All right.
Their thoughts. Have they been screened? Yeah.
Well, let's find out what they had to say and why they think you're still single.
Hi Joy, it's me Melissa, your good friend, and I have been asked to say why I think you are still single. As you know, we've been away for on a couple of trips together, and of course you're a very attractive young lady. And you do tend to get quite a lot of male attention. So what I would say is that you just need to keep focused on the single goal of finding the right person for you. You know what you have in mind and the type of person that you want. So don't get distracted by maybe the wrong type of people that might come your way, the wrong attention. Just keep focused, and I'm sure that very soon you will find the right person.
Oh, so there you have it. Gee, Joy was absolutely surprised. But you know what? Your friend made a really valid point. She said, you know, you are quite attractive. You just need to keep your eyes open. What do you feel about that?
I'm grateful for the compliment. No, Melissa knows me quite well. to be honest, most of what she said up there, I've heard her say it before. She has actually, we've spoken about it. It's true. Yeah, she's got it spot on. It's kind of in line with what Pam has said as well, that it's important not to be distracted. That's because sometimes I do get a bit of attention, but it doesn't mean that it's the right attention. So I just don't prick my ears up just because somebody approaches me or tries to talk to me. So yeah, so it is about discernment. So yeah, Melissa's spot on. Just I don't know why she sold me out like this on TV. Melissa.
Well, happily married folk, what do you think?
Well, with Joy, I know Joy as well, but I won't say anything about that. It was a very nice point that Melissa, and there's two things that we can learn from this. Number one, you know, if you get a lot of male attention, sometimes you can set your standards so high that you just put up a wall. And then you think, oh, okay, I'm not gonna approach this person, I'm not gonna approach this person because I get the attention all the time. Do you know, I'm popular, you know what I mean? And then that lovely guy may be right in front of you, but because you have had so much male attention, you're the popular girl, you can tend to be fussy. I'm not saying you, but this happens with singletons all the time. Yeah. And also, on the flip side of it, sometimes when you do get that male attention, you might just sell yourself out at the same time, just have a few minutes of fun with that person. And you've got core values that you want to see in someone, right? You know that as a single woman, you're looking for a specific certain guy. And there's some things, some core values in him that you're looking for. But then if someone else comes along, you don't mind just spending a few minutes with this one just to see if they're all right. But it's not, you really, really know this is not the kind of person you really want to be with. And that can be kind of dangerous sometimes, especially because if the other person is looking at you and you're dating someone else, for example, and they're not really who you want, the other person will think, oh, well, since she's with that one, she's taken. She's taken, or I don't want to be with someone who's dated that one. So there's something to be careful about.
Do you know what? I think there's also a flip side to it with the men as well. I think men, because sometimes they think they have so much choice out there, they don't really take the time to look at the right woman, and then they get lost in themselves.
And many women, to be honest with you, they do like to see the history of a guy. Yeah. They would like to see what type of woman have you been with? And if it's like this one, just like, oh. It does. I don't know what you think about it. I know for me, I would just kind of be like, oh, I don't really want to be with someone who's been with all these women. It's like he doesn't know what he wants. And that's scary. That can be scary.
The same is true for females as well.
Can be the same for females.
I know certainly for me, I wouldn't want to, in anticipation of my husband, I wouldn't want to be everywhere, speaking to every guy and everything like that. I like to preserve myself as well. So it's kind of finding that balance between having your guard up and knowing that the person, there's no future with that person, but then also maybe giving someone enough space to show you a bit of themselves. So it's kind of hard. It's hard, to be honest, as a woman to find that balance, because more often than not, it's the men that are attracted to you and approach you. I know I don't approach guys. It's just something that I can't, I won't do. But so for that reason, it's kind of finding that balance, which I think it takes some practice. It takes some practice. So, but thank you for the feedback. And I think as a single person, you need to, how can I put it? I think you need to welcome criticism and feedback and take it on board as well. So I'm not going to be defensive with it, because I think you have really good points there as well as Melissa. So thank you.
But panel, do you know what? Because you're all sat there, don't think that you're all out of it. I want to ask, what exactly, I know this might sound a bit hard to answer, but what exactly are you looking for? If someone was to say to you, I'm going to whip up your dream future partner right now, bam, tell me what you want, and that person will magically appear. What would you want? Do you actually know what you want? I take it from the silence, maybe not. or who is bold enough to say what they want first? Oh, Pam, go first.
Someone who's sincere, genuine, a good person, and will treat you well. Simple.
Oh, okay.
So it doesn't matter what they look like, Pam.
It does. Or
doesn't matter what they look like. You just want a good person.
I'm just asking. No, it's Marlon. Marlon's like, this is it. But he, not to attack him, sorry, Pam. Yeah. Last time, he was like, oh, the shoe has to be right. Da, 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 da. So I'm just thinking, that's all appearance as well. But anyway, back to your point.
Back to Pam, please.
Sorry.
Yeah, the appearance.
Yeah. Thank you.
The appearance does matter. I mean, if he's wearing clean clothes, you know, his hair's done, you know, not long and whatever. But the appearance does matter. It doesn't matter if he's not like gorgeous. It's what's inside that counts. But as long as he's taking care of himself.
Oh,
Fair
lovely.
enough comments.
Marlon wants to come back now.
Firstly, Gemma, in relations to past comments that I've made in reference to a woman's dress style, it wasn't to just do with, you know, the aesthetics of it. Oh, she looks beautiful, she doesn't. It was also to do with her mind state, her not just following fashions, not just doing things to look extra sexy or extra appealing. She has to know herself. She has to put herself together correctly. And she must not be swayed by the masses just because that's what the masses do. She must be individual. That will attract me, the individuality of the woman. So that would definitely. I need a strong woman.
You need a strong woman.
A very strong
But
woman.
then last week, but the thing is though, I was so confused about you, Marlon, I'm sorry. Because last week you were saying you were put off by strong women. You said strong women, some of them, you know, they're so, they don't want to be led, they don't want to...
Misquote.
Wait. Okay, guys, it's getting quite argumentative.
Let's understand your strength. No. Let me explain the strength that he's talking about so we can all be clear in the studio and at home.
Yes, I believe the strength he's talking about is a woman of integrity, a woman who holds himself in a certain way. I don't think he's talking about a woman who's going to boss him around. Nobody will like it.
Just had to clarify.
And that's you know. Sorry, before we get into it, because we're going to run out of time here, and there's a lot of speaking going on, but I have another video on someone where we have a friend who's just said why they think they're still single. That's right, Daniel. We had one of your friends tell us why they think you're still single.
The reason I think Daniel is still single is the fear of getting it wrong, the fear of starting a relationship and being misunderstood, the fear of being in a relationship and things don't work out. I think he's just afraid of actually being in a relationship. That's why he's still single.
Wow. So, Daniel.
Yes.
Do you have some fear issues there?
I wouldn't say fear per se, but I understand what he's saying. It's some good advice. We've had a few chats, actually, but it's just not I want to get it right. I want to get it right. I don't want to mess about. I don't want to be talking to this person, that person, as you were saying, because it does give you a bad character.
Yeah.
And maybe the one that you want to be with doesn't want to be with you because you've been with A, B, and C. And for me, I really want to get it right. And I think sometimes it gets excessive that you close yourself and you isolate yourself. And I think probably that is what my problem is that I isolate myself and I'm not open. And if you're not open, how can you find the right person?
Okay, well, happily married folk.
Should I say, do you want to say something?
I mean, I agree with Daniel. You've got to have that confidence to meet that right person. And in able to do that, you've got to have yourself open. I mean, we're not going to fall into the pattern that you're going to be dating and receive yourself a bad reputation. But let's look at it like this, Daniel. If you don't go and challenge, if you don't go on dates, you know, and even if those dates don't work out, you will know within those dates what you're not looking for, because all women are different. And you're not going to know personalities of women until you go and challenge them, see who they are. And then when you see who that, you'll know, oh, I don't want that type of woman. Do you know what I mean? So,
well, we've got a caller on the air by the names of Emmanuel, who wants to give his opinion. Emmanuel, are you there?
Yes. Hi, good afternoon.
Hi there, Emmanuel. What do you think about everything that's been said today, and why do you think our panel may still be single?
Wow, it's very, very interesting. I wish men who are bachelors, women who are singles, they should just sit by the TV and be watching this program. Because you have a lot of things that are going on today. Yeah, I just want to make a comment about the first sister. You see, a lot of things are happening nowadays. Like that woman said, just keep yourself focused. Don't go down for anything less, please. Because you have a lot of marvelous men outside there. And to all my brothers who are there, please look for a virtuous woman. We need to bring back this sanctity back into marriage, honestly. So for that sister, don't settle for less. Don't allow anybody to come and play gimmicks on you. Look for original quality in that man you are looking for. Let anybody go ahead and say whatever they want to say. Stand by what you want.
Okay. Thank you very much, Emmanuel, for your call.
Yeah,
thank you. Bye.
Jen, sorry, can I just quickly say something about for Daniel?
Yeah.
I think that there needs to be a clear definition of talking to someone and dating someone. Because I think that the thing about Daniel, from what I've seen, is that he doesn't open himself, like you said. You quickly said that because you knew that I was going to say it. Very well done. But you don't open yourself to talk, because if you don't talk to someone, you're never going to know if the person, it could be that special someone. And I want to, I want to ask, what are the ideals? What are you looking for in someone in the first place? That's the thing. What are your, what are the values? What are you actually looking for in that ideal partner that you're talking about?
Ideal partner is just basically someone who has not established themselves, but they know what they want in life, where they want to go. Someone who wants to travel, someone who wants to succeed in life as well also. I don't want a couch potato, someone who I'm going to bring around excess luggage.
Yeah.
I want someone who's going to help me to fulfill my dreams, basically. So I don't want too much. I just want someone to accompany me for me to achieve my dreams.
So can you see, most of the things you're saying, you're only going to know about that person if you speak to that person, not necessarily date. There's, going out for a coffee and just talking to someone, it's not dating. You're just talking. So there needs to be that definition. But then when you start dating, it means you're always with the person, hand in hand with the person. So it's different, So I think you need to face your fears and you give yourself a challenge. You know what? This week, I see this person. She looks interesting. I'm going to go and have a conversation with her for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's no harm.
Up for the challenge.
What do you have to lose?
You've got nothing to, it's just a talk.
I know
You're not dating.
it's not. I don't have anything to lose. I'm afraid to do it. It's just that I just don't want to do it for the sake of doing it.
But then how will you find the
Yes, I understand.
This is the challenge, Daniel. For you to know women, you're gonna have to face them.
I would say.
He can defend himself. Go on, Daniel.
I would say, I've had a lot of bad experiences concerning it.
Yes.
Sometimes when you're a guy who speaks to quite a lot of females, other people start to see you as, oh, how come he's speaking to this person and that person? Even though you're not dating, but you look bad because you are speaking to a lot of females or you're close to females. Then people from the outside see it as if you're, you speak to this person and that person, especially with women, because they want their man to be exclusive for them. But do you know what I mean? So it's like a thing where I'm trying to be not exclusive, but I want to be smart about it. I don't want to just be speaking to anyone and everyone. If you get what I'm trying to say, it's not a fact of fear.
I do understand.
If you're going to speak to someone, you have to see something
inside
for you to go and speak to the person. You can't just say, okay, that person looks good, so I want to speak to them.
Try a different type of woman, because maybe the women that you have been speaking to are all the same type, and of course they would then be like, okay, he's speaking to that, but try a different. How about you try someone a different type?
Shireen, as somebody who's single, I have to say I wouldn't necessarily be put off by seeing a guy who speaks to different women. The reason why I say that is because you have talking. I mean, it's unrealistic for me to think I'm going to meet someone right now and they're not going to be talking.
Hold on. Before we stay on this point, we need to move on to the next video because you all aren't getting away of fighting. So I've got another video, even though you did make a valid point, and I do understand where you're coming from, Daniel. So I'm on your side on this
single,
one.
That's why.
Ooh, well, I can come with my own one afterwards. But Gemma, you're not off the hook because we got a family member on you talking about why you're still single. So let's watch this video now.
Hi. So, why are you still single, Gemma? And I did give this a bit of thought, lots of thoughts. Okay, for everyone who's watching, Gemma is very successful in what she does. She's very determined. She knows what she wants. She's outspoken. And I don't think you don't rely on anyone for anything, which is really good quality as an independent woman. However, I think this can be intimidating for some guys to approach you. So I think maybe for you, work on sometimes advertising that softer side that some of us know, but maybe some of the men around, they don't necessarily know. But I do agree with sticking to your guns of knowing what you want, but just know that you're a constant advertisement while you're single. So make the most of showing that softer side, that you can be led as well as being a leader. Okay? All right.
So Sam, you heard that our Gem is a bit of an independent one, or more like an iron lady. I'm joking. But what can these kind of women do? Because if you've been independent for so long, you're used to doing your own thing, you're quite confident, you're out there, you're a go-getter. Sometimes it's a bit difficult to take a step back and let someone take the lead.
Because what happens is men become afraid of women like this. They become afraid of women who seem independent. I think what has to happen, it's not the problem with the men. It's the problem what Gemma has to almost like make herself a bit more vulnerable. A bit more vulnerable, that men can actually see the vulnerable side. Because we have kind of skills that you need to get these skills out, not just this strong woman all the time. But I'm a strong woman. I'm quite independent as well. And my husband found me very independent when he met me. But as I was dating him, I allowed myself to be vulnerable. So you're going to meet men, because you're a beautiful woman, Gem, and I know that there are going to be men that will want to approach you, because they're going to find you very attractive. They're going to find that you have a beautiful personality, which you do. But they may be afraid because they're thinking that you're too independent. So what you have to do, relax a little bit. Give them a chance to see the vulnerable side of you, because, and you may say, well, how am I going to do that? If someone comes and wants to date you, give them a chance. Give them a chance, let them take you out. When you go out on that date, don't do all the talking. It's not all about you. Give them a chance. Men are like superheroes. They like to feel like they are superheroes, don't they? Do you know what I mean?
Well, the guys are not in agreement, like she's got it spot on. Do you
know what I mean? Like making all their comments. Yeah,
so we have to allow them to feel like they're superheroes.
You're spotted.
Do you know what I mean? So while you're there, a bit of a flutter, and how do you do that? You may know how to do it. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? But and you may even do it better than him. And he may be giving you some instructions. This is how you do it, and you paint it like that, and you do this. And you think, oh my God, I know how to do this. But you're not going to behave like that, Miss Know-It-All. Yeah. You're going to be vulnerable. You're going to be accepting. You're going to be kind. And you're going to allow him to take you on that journey. Yeah.
Well, do you know what? That's some fab tips, and I'm sure the men out there are like, yep, she's got it spot on, and the women are like, oh, really? So get your pen and pads out. We're going to go to a quick break, so I'll allow you to do that, and we're going to come back with some more tips as to how you can get rid of that singledom and perhaps be on your way to marriage. So stay tuned. So, as you can tell, it's getting quite heated in the studio today when we're getting the surprise videos out there and people are hearing their loved ones talk a little bit about them. But Sam, you had a very interesting point during the break that we were going to discuss. But before we go into that, my producers are telling me we have another video. Yeah, that's right, Antonello. We've got a friend on you who's going to talk about why they think you're still single.
Good afternoon, everyone. I was asked by the production of the program to help my friend Antonello, the Italian stallion, as I like to call him, with this big question: why is Antonello still single? I can obviously speak only from what I know, and the more I think about it, it is clear I don't know why Antonello is still single. But hold on. Don't, jump to conclusions and shoot me down like you were doing with the little girl, on the bottom right-hand side last Sunday. If I knew why Antonello is still single, then I would have gone to him and I would have said, Antonello, listen, this is why you are still single. Do this and book your wedding date. But I don't. And that's why I can't do that. What do I know then? I know that if Antonello is still single, most probably because he hasn't yet found that person that he is ready to work with in a relationship. I believe this is what it boils down to in the end of the day, is you finding someone you are ready to work at in a relationship. Relationships are complicated. You're talking about a lifetime together, many challenges, many situations, and people speak a lot about love at first sight. I'm someone who doesn't really believe in love at first sight. I believe that people do have a bit of lust at first sight because everybody is trying to find someone that looks nice to be by their side. But when we talk about marriage, we talk about a long-lasting relationship, then it's much more than that. And although you want someone nice, you want above all someone that is ready to work with you. I've been now in a relationship for 20 years. You know, this is gonna be this October my 20th wedding anniversary. And, you know, my wife was totally out of my league. You know, and when I saw her, I said, you know, I want that woman. She was out of my league, but, you know, I braced myself and I determined to wow her, and, you know, I raised myself to her league. Was I perfect? Was she perfect? We were not. But I saw something in her that I wanted her by my side to work at a relationship, and, you know, it's going now 20 years. So, Antonello, I think this is what is missing. Now, do I think that perhaps there have been people in your life that maybe were willing to work and you perhaps should have done more? You know, it comes down to, you know, the right person at the right time in the right circumstances and you having the right frame of mind. I believe that there might have been people like that. Now, regarding those, the only thing you can do is look back, see, you know, do I really want to go back there? And if you do, then if it's the right time and you have the right frame of mind, then do it. If not, then you can only look forward and you know, look for that person. And once you find her, then it's about action. You know, I had to take action to be able to have that person that was out of my league. And now we've been married for 20 years. So I'm sure you will find that person as well. And it's all about being ready to go for it.
Wow. Antonello, what do you have to say?
Well, you know, that was quite of a lesson, actually. I must say that he's right. I mean, I know what I want.
So you do know what you want?
No, of course I do what I want.
You didn't
He knows now what he wants.
Okay.
I never said I don't know what I want. I said I'm not ready, but that doesn't mean you don't know what you want.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I always knew what I want. And probably that's why this is one of the reasons also. Because sometimes you might look at things that they're not really important, and probably sometimes I've done, you know, in life I've made this mistake. While the things are very, very important, which is the things you have to look for. But also those things are very, very important. You will always know after a certain time. It's not something that sometimes is quite straightforward to know it. Mm-hmm. You know, you will know with the time. And, you know, that doesn't mean that have I always done everything, you know, perfectly? No. I've done mistakes, but...
Well, that is exactly, Antonello. You're not going to know. Everything is not going to be perfect.
Of course.
Everything's not going to be a bed of roses, because that's what relationships are about.
And just to answer to what he said, you don't want to be looking like someone who jumps from here to there. That's right. But also you can't stop yourself, because at the end of the day, I know what I want and who I am. And if people sees me to talk to someone and then to someone else, you know, it's their problem. I know who I am. I know if I do something, if I do with a bad intention or a good intention, and that's no one can put their mouth on it.
Yeah.
Because I know
who you are,
who I am, and I know why I'm talking to this person or to that person. I don't care what people say.
Yeah. And that's the best way to see it. But we have one video. That's right, Mr. Know-It-All Marlon. We have a video on you. Did you think he was going to escape? No. So, Marlon, who do you think out of your friends would give the lowdown on why they think you're still single?
I have someone in mind, but I'll just watch.
Right, who do you think it is?
I think it's a female.
And who do you think she is?
Well, we hope so.
She's in trouble.
And do you know who Trouble's name is?
I'm just going to watch. I'm not going to predict
Okay,
her
well,
name.
let's see if yours right. Let's go to Marlon's video.
Hi, my name is Tamara, and Marlon, the reason why you're still single is because you are so picky. You're so concerned about a woman's shoes, how immaculate she is. Marlon, you're losing so many opportunities. That's the reason why I think that you're still single.
Wow.
Wow.
We spoke about this last week.
Tomorrow, you're in trouble. You are so in I was actually going to call you before the show, and then something just rang.
But I mean, those things are a bit trivial, and I'm gonna get to you. But because we are running out of time, we've got the last video, which is you, Pam, as well. We've got someone on you, so we're gonna do both of yours at the same time. So let's go to Pamela's video too.
Hi Pam, it's Morty. I bet you never expected to see me come speak about you, right? So Pam, I've been thinking, why are you still single? I mean, you're such a beautiful woman, so kind, so loving, and I know that you're ready to share this love that you have inside of you. So the question is, why are you still single? And this is my opinion. I think that you are very, very reserved. You don't give people an opportunity to get to know you sometimes because maybe you're a bit shy, and so when people approach you, you're a bit reserved, and that can come off as snobbish, or it can, you know, give the impression that you're not interested.
Oh, Pam, Pam. I mean, happily married folk. What do you have to say about what you've heard about Marlon and Pam?
Let me speak about Marlon.
You can take on Marlon.
I'm ready.
In the little time I've known Marlon, I can see that you're very fussy, very, very picky, and you could be missing out on someone so great just because their nail might have chipped that day. But you know, these are things that, these are trivial things that, you know, appearance, you can change it all the time. And also, I've got to say, it's not just because it's you, but because I've seen this as well. You know, sometimes guys especially, they want to go through, you know, they said, my woman's got to be like Waitrose quality, Marks and Spencer's quality, but they're Lidl, they're Netto themselves. They're not investing in, you know, they're saying, I want this quality, but they're not that themselves. Do you see what I mean? So I think that you just have to be, I'm not saying that's what you do, but I'm just saying that you have to be careful about that your standard is not so high, but you are not that standard. And maybe that's why you may still be single. But maybe if you change your mindset, you know, and start to zoom in more about the things that are really, really important, that woman like of strength you were talking about, rather than her fingernail or how her shoe looks, then maybe you'll find that special someone.
Can I come into it?
Yes. As long as you're going to keep it short and
I'll
sweet.
keep it very short and sweet. For me, it's a package. I never judge anyone on anything. Actually, I don't believe I judge people. I just call it as I see it. With regards to picky, I'm not picky. I just know what I want. Just like Antonello, I know what I want, and I see it very quickly because there are certain characteristics I require. I didn't say it earlier because, you know, I give someone else a chance to explain what they want. But I do know what I want, and as soon as I see it, I investigate and I go further and further. At the moment, I haven't found that person, so I'm still single. But I'm ready.
Well,
good.
Sam, what about? Can I just say something? Just one moment, Jen. Because she thought she'd get away with it because she was the main host.
No
way. Yeah, we want to know. Jennifer.
Oh, good grief. Why is
You
Jennifer still single? Well, there are quite a few reasons that I could give, but I'm going to stick to one. Jennifer has a philosophy in life called, I don't want trouble. And that's what she lives by. So she looks at the guy, even if she likes him, she'll think, I don't want trouble. So it's easier for her kind of to be the invisible woman, looking from afar, hoping for someone else to pick that person for her and say, Jennifer, that's the one. Now, does this really work? Well, Jennifer's still single. Jennifer is still single. I'll leave it to you to work it out. Does it really work?
I can't believe you. I can't believe
That's a classic.
so mean.
That's a classic.
Right, okay, I put my hands up. I am Mrs. prim and proper, I don't want no trouble. And I think that is a good philosophy. I want someone who's not going to give me headache, like I said last week.
She never said that. She said, even if you see the person, you want someone else to choose for you.
Oh, no way.
Because you don't want trouble, so you prefer for someone to pick for you so that you don't get it wrong.
She likes
That's
to
what she
stay
said.
in her comfort zone, but Jen, there's no such
Oh
comfort
my
zone.
gosh, I
get
can't
out
believe
of
it.
that
Can I
comfort zone.
at least defend myself on the show that I'm on?
No.
Right.
can't.
Just before we run out of time. No, I think what it is that I am very, very cautious when I go into relationships. I'll put my hands up because I've had experiences in the past and I'm not looking to repeat that again. And no, one of my closest friends, who is the producer who's looking at me right now, I don't allow people to choose for me because I know what I want and I know how I'm going to get it. But at the same time, having said that, I just tend to be very cautious.
Can I just say something though? Because I think what a lot of people have said, which I've heard, is experiences. And I think we've all had a terrible experience in love at some point of our life. And I've had my own, which I've spoken about on the show before. But I think that my conclusion is at the moment is we can't allow those experiences to change who we are today and to stop us. Because I think that's what I've realised from this show and from the past week, is that I did allow my past experiences for a long time to stop me from finding love. So maybe as well for you, Jen, that might be what you need.
Well, what would you? Yeah, what would you like to conclude on? Because we literally got 1 minute left.
Okay. Pam, I'm going to say to you very, very quickly that it's important for you to get more interesting in terms of maybe finding new hobbies, doing more interesting things. Because one thing I know about men, they like to have challenging women. And if you're too much, like Jenny was saying, in that comfort zone, it can put them off as well. So work on that.
So there you have it. We've all found out, including myself, why we may still be single. But perhaps you might have some extra questions and we didn't have enough time to cover it in the show and you would like to speak to one of us. Well, send your email straight through to comments@dkw.me and we'll be more than happy, and our happily married folk as well, to tell you why you're still single and how we can help you out of it if you want some of our advice. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed yourself today, and don't miss us next week Sunday at 4 p.m. where we're going to have another fantastic show on DKW. Have a great Sunday afternoon. Bye.
This one's for the girls. This one's for